Hey, what's going on? My name is Aaron Godwin. I am the Engineer of Wealth and creator of the Engineered Wealth account. As a financial planner, one of the questions that I often get asked is about estate planning. Financial planners and estate planners often work hand in hand in order to set up different documents so that whenever a person passes, those assets are passed down like they would prefer, right? So we want to make sure those assets are passed down to the things that they prefer. And most of the time, that is making sure that the inheritance goes to their children, their children's children, and the resources and benefits that they want to, right? A lot of the charitable giving, right? And not to the government. The biggest part is we want to make sure that this goes to the people that we want and not all to the government. So I often get asked, hey Aaron, like what estate plans do I need? How do I get started? And I've created several relationships with different attorneys in order to help people with that and get started. So if you need an introduction, send me an email. My email is listed on here. Just reach out any way that you can, and that will I'll make that introduction. With that being said, I'm not an attorney, and so make sure that you consult legal advice before putting anything into place. But because I'm not an attorney, I can give you my straight answer, which a lot of times you're unable to get from an attorney. That it always seems like there's conditions on every single statement that an attorney makes. So, hit a like if you agree with that statement. So I just want to talk about some of the documents, right? So there are 4 primary documents that people need to do and to set up into their estate plan. And with each one of those documents, they each do a different thing. And we want to make sure that there are 3 primary conditions that are covered. Those 3 primary conditions, first off, number 1 is if you were to pass. Right? Number 1, if you die. We want to make sure that if you were to pass, that your assets go to the people and the charities that you choose. Right? The second condition, or the second scenario where you need an estate plan, is if you become sick, if you become mentally unstable, if something happens to you where you're not able to make those decisions for yourself, if you're incapacitated in any way, and I hope I'm spelling that right, if you're incapacitated in any way, these documents can put your wishes, right? You've already predetermined what your wishes are. They can put your wishes there so that they are following your wishes. And the third reason that you need an estate plan is if something was to happen and you have young children, or your beneficiaries are young children, and a 10-year-old cannot inherit $1 million estate. Right? They're too young in order to handle that. So if you are, or if your beneficiaries are too young, this will put into place the people to surround them and to provide that support structure for them. Right? It's incredibly important to have that set up in case something happens. All right? As we talk about these 3 scenarios, we're going to talk about a couple documents. It's 2020. Right, we've in the middle of the COVID pandemic. People are working more and more online. You can get your entire estate planning done online now. So don't let that intimidate you. You can jump on to Zoom calls. You can jump on to webinars. You can jump on to video conferences in order to get your estate planning done. So let's talk about those primary documents that you need. Right. So the first document, and I'm going to say most, right, the first document that most people need is simply just a revocable trust. That revocable trust is that first document that most people need. The second document that most people need is a durable powers of attorney. Right? And so that gets everything set up so that if something was to happen to you, your loved ones can help make those decisions. Right? The next thing that people need is a last will. I think most people are familiar with wills, and if you have any questions about the difference between a will and a trust, if you'll click on, there's a website listed below, retiredandtaxfree.com / or /, I never know the difference between those, trust, and there's a free PDF document, a free ebook in there that is estate planning for beginners, right? It's estate planning made easy. Inside of there, a lot of the definitions, a lot of how to get started are listed in there. Additionally, that website, you don't have to put in your email address, you don't have to open up an extra tab, you don't have to do anything. It's literally just a click and download. So it's an awesome little setup there. And the last thing that most people need is advanced medical directives. Right? A lot of people have very serious opinions about, what efforts should be made, right? If you were to become incapacitated, like what effort should be made to keep you alive in that state, right? So that those advanced medical directives can cover that. They can cover many more different scenarios than that. And so that's why you would want to have an attorney involved in that process. So just to recap real quick, the four main things that you need is a revocable trust, durable powers of attorney, a last will, and advanced medical directives. Again, my name is Aaron Godwin. I am the Engineer of Wealth and creator of the Engineer of Wealth account. As you're looking for places to store wealth, the Engineered Wealth account is one of the best places that you can use to store wealth that can also help to create generational wealth, right? You can set it up so that you're creating generational wealth so that you leave an inheritance, not just to your children, but to your children's children. Again, thank you. Thank you for if you jumped on to the live stream, and we look forward to talking to you soon. All right.